one of the biggest struggles for most men is that they fight this fight alone. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that want a better marriage, want to better connect with their wives, want to better connect with their kids. And they're running businesses and they're entrepreneurs and they're doing all this stuff, but they're fighting that battle alone because, man, the pressure behind trying to build a big ass business and then also trying to shut that off and go home and spend time with your wife, especially when you aren't connected, you guys aren't having sex, you guys aren't having the relationship that you thought you were supposed to have as a man, because we were taught that things were supposed to be a certain way, but then the reality of life is that shit ain't always gonna be like that. Everybody's not gonna get us. And then also, from being a good dad or being a better dad or being able to spend time with your kids, it's like a lot of us are great dads, but it's like we sacrifice a lot of the shit about who we are because we want to build this business. We want to be great dads and have a better marriage as men, but then when we fail, we have nobody to go to. We have nobody to actually push us to that next phase, to help us hit that new gear in life. So we fail. We tend to just keep pushing, we burn out, we go home, we argue with our wives, we don't spend any time with our kids, and we'll believe that that's life. You see, I was in that space too. You see, I built a badass business, a real estate company, investors. I built that shit from the ground up, and I hustle and fucking grind and work my ass off, and in a moment's notice, it was gone. And then when I looked at my marriage, I realized that I was also failing in my marriage, and I looked at my kids, and I had my kids, and I love my kids, but I didn't really know what more to do, because now I couldn't provide for them. And that sent me on my own journey to be able to figure shit out. But everywhere I went to figure shit out and ask questions for other men, those guys didn't have any answers for me. So I went back to the one or two things that I knew how to do. I was an athlete, I was a fighter, I was a soldier, I knew how to fucking train, I knew how to hustle and grind in business, and that's what I did. And I started doing things my way. I started living my life my way. I started being with my wife and started getting a better understanding of who I was and what I was supposed to be doing, and our relationship got better. I started spending more time, the time that I wanted to with my kids, not the way I thought or what I was taught or when I went to church or when I went to classes and seminars and all this other shit. I started figuring out how shit worked for me in my world, in my life. And then things started to make sense. One of the biggest things for me, when I started sharing this stuff with other guys, there was no principle, there was no model, there was no nothing. Initially, this was just me trying to fucking work shit out for me, trying to save my family, my business, the way that I wanted to get shit done. And it slowly started spilling over where other guys, as I started figuring stuff out, had questions, and I started sharing with them what I did, how I managed me, how I found the power to keep going, and how I put my life together, and their life started working too. 2013, I started sharing this information with guys over time, and over time, these guys' lives have started being better. These guys spending more time with their kids. Their marriages have gotten better. Some of these guys have gotten divorced. They've moved on, but they're better for it. They stopped being trapped without questions. They started really finding the power that they had in themselves to be who they wanted to be, just like I did. So while I was only looking for answers for me, it became the answer for other men who were just like me. And within sharing those answers, that made me start realizing that maybe there's something to this. Maybe that this should be something I should always share. Maybe this is the way. So within this model I created, I started calling it the champion's way to winning it all. Winning it all to what? To us and our bodies and our beings and our bond with our wives, with our kids, and also in our businesses. And I want to share that with you. You know, at Warhorse at the academy doing shit, and I'm like, do not let him fucking beat you. And then what do you hear me say? You better fucking beat him. To the next dude. I'm always pitting everybody against each other because we have to be there for each other, like you said. And when we begin to create who we are by design like that, and you got a guy that's fucking built for that, you're like, dude, I will inspire you or I will be the destruction of you, but either way, you will be better. That achievement comes through fulfillment, and the fulfillment is through helping the people that's on our team. If we operate as one team and push each other past where we ever had to go, then we can set goals and timelines like nobody fucking else.
Go, 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 go.
Nothing changed for me until I finally started telling the fucking truth about my life and what wasn't working. And then I was able to finally see where I had failed and that it was time for a change. We can no longer say that there's not a place for us when there is one now.